I'm scared. I'm in danger. Hi, Zizaran here, and this video is going to be talking about really scary map mods. So basically what to avoid and like the dangers behind like things on maps. So I figured for this we would bring up POEDB just so that I can like sort of look through it and make sure I don't forget things and we can like walk by them a little bit. Because there are some things like I have a very core set of things that I absolutely skip on hardcore. I've started like getting like feedback from people, or rather videos from people that play softcore. This was actually because of the guy in the last Sunday roast video where he actually had a video of like, this is how I'm currently dying. If you have some feedback. And a lot of the trend we're noticing is that especially softcore players, they don't necessarily always know when they're new to the game, what are the really scary ones. So one of the things that a guy died in was like, it was like crit, multi-proj, and 3 damage mods. And I'm like, and it wasn't even corrupted. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like some scary shit, right? So let's talk about that a little bit, and what dangers are behind map mods. We can like educate a little bit on each one. So like Bloodline, that's pretty much only really a danger while you're playing with friends, because that'll make like those big like fiery explosions on the ground. So if you're killing something and your friend doesn't necessarily get the same warning time, that can kill them. But that's not really one of the very dangerous ones. Poison, quite a lot more dangerous now after monsters have gotten a buff. If you have under 0 chaos rest, like very high negative, it's a very scary one. Elemental Equilibrium, pretty much a free mod. It's just like some damage reduction, not the end of the world. AoE, honestly, not that scary. There can be some monster types that will be very scary. Some bosses, like maybe Minotaur or some of the Elder Guardians, can be kind of scary with AoE, but generally not like the worst thing. Oh, and there are also some boss slams, like let's say Malachi or the Val Oversoul. The AoE, like it can really catch you off guard. Same with Ice Nova boxes, but generally not the biggest killer, but is very easy to underestimate. Critical, this is one of the biggest killers. We don't have that many good sources of crit reduction. The way crit works in Path of Exile is incredibly scary. So for example, with the best example of like normal things is, for example, the Spark Exile. If that Exile throws his Valspark out and he crits, every little projectile is a crit. That's why you sometimes used to, in the past when this wasn't even scary Exile, you would just see people fall over from that. And that means on things like Shaper Balls, which obviously you can't roll crit on the Shaper, but part of why crit is so scary is if the Shaper crits with the ball, all of those 3 are a crit, and they're going to freeze you and stuff like that. So crit is very scary, especially if you're not ailment immune. You'll get ignited all the time, you'll get shocked all the time, and you're going to get frozen all the time. No regen, obviously very build dependent, and then you have the ground effects, very build dependent as well. All the curses are a lot more scary now because again, we don't have a great way of dealing with curses, but the one that's particularly scary is vulnerability, because this gives monsters a chance to bleed, and bleed is kind of scarier now. So yeah, your vulnerability is a hard skip right now. I haven't run one vul map. Minus player resistances, incredibly scary. Just a huge damage increase, and what I've seen a lot of people on the ladder die to. So this is one of the things that I also never run on hardcore. Cannot leech, very build dependent, and same with like a lot of these. Block is particularly scary because this is one of our like biggest ways of defending against monsters right now. And so both these two, dodge is unlucky or less block, very scary. The dodge is unlucky, kind of very easy to underestimate. I've seen a lot of people die to that. Frenzy charges on here, kind of easy to underestimate as well because it can be kind of scary. Other than that, that's like the main list of suffixes on a map that is very scary. Totems used to be incredibly deadly, but there is the detonate dead totem, but it has a timer now, so not as big. Nemesis mod, obviously scary from a large amount of volatiles, a large amount of the lightning shocker things, etc. Some of these are kind of scary. We have goatmen, they're very dangerous now. Abominations that can have revenants, they're very scary, but for the most part, these are okay. Chain, build dependent, but very scary if you're playing in a party or with summoners or anything like Herald of Purity. Very easy for, like, it just will end up not shotgunning, but like bouncing back on you several times. Very easy to die to as a summoner. Beyond can be very scary, but it is also a very lucrative mod. Generally, you'll see people wanting that on their map. Multi-proj. This is the single most dangerous mod. There are so many monsters in the game that end up just getting like, well, 66% more damage. It's honestly completely insane. Like cannibals and a few other things just absolutely will annihilate you. You see so many people get one shot from this. So this is, I haven't ran a single multi-proj map in, with maybe very few exceptions, in like a year or two. Generic monster damage. This can be pretty scary because it'll be everything. It'll make chaos damage go up, physical damage go up, and elemental damage. So very, very scary, especially in combination with others. One of the easiest things to underestimate because it doesn't seem like a high number. Then we have all the elemental ones. These honestly aren't that bad. I'm fairly comfortable with at least 2 of these on the map. As long as there's not others. I generally try to never do 3 damage mod or 4 damage mod maps unless I'm very confident in the build, and they can catch you off guard very quickly, especially when there are other things in the map, like for example remnants that can add mods again. So be careful about stacking mods. Speed can very, very much catch you off guard as well. More of a hardcore thing because it's not going to happen very often. But for example, if you have this mod on the map and then there's an acceleration shrine in the map, they are very fast and can instantly just kill you. Reflect, obviously very build dependent, either does everything or nothing. And most of the other maps or most of the other mods are pretty much a non-issue. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to like generically talk a little bit about what is scary. And obviously a lot of it is make sure that you are not stacking too many mods. If you're doing like crit min-max multi-proj, that is insanity and you are probably expecting to die in that map. Same reason why a lot of people don't corrupt their maps on hardcore, because then you no longer have the choice of re-rolling it. Hopefully this helps people both on hardcore and softcore. I know it's very, very hard. It's a very like deep game. Roll your maps safely. Hope it helps. Good luck. Hope you're enjoying the league. Thanks so much for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.